That was the most embarrassing moment for me and I think, for all deaf South African people. So embarrassing.
Deaf and hearing impaired communities all over the world, including here in Rochester, are furious. They're calling this man, who was supposed to be translating for top officials, a fake. Yesterday, millions of people watched that memorial service for former South African President Nelson Mandela, and tonight there's outrage surrounding the man chosen to be on stage as a sign language interpreter.
Our local deaf and hearing impaired community says he was not really communicating anything at all. In fact, I can tell you from personal experience in sign language, I could not understand it. Even if this were a different dialect, I noticed the same gestures over and over. The deaf and hearing impaired communities are now demanding answers. New at 5:30, Joangel Concepcion spent the day at the National Technical Institute for the Deaf at RIT. She joins us live in the newsroom.
Well, Scott, Janet, there's so many questions when it comes to this. Did South African officials know this man was not a sign language interpreter, as many people are saying? And if so, why was this man picked to translate at such a historic event if he wasn't qualified? Well, right now there are no answers, but just a lot of frustration.
Once in a while we see that, even here in the U.S. But to see something on the world stage at Mandela's funeral, it was really, really offensive to the deaf community. And the world was watching.
Now, the ceremony lasted for several hours, but it didn't take long for many to realize there was something wrong. The deaf community in South Africa says there was a 0% accuracy in the translation. Members were even more offended because he did not use the signs specifically created for Nelson Mandela and even for President Obama. When I spoke to professors at RIT today, they said they couldn't understand the signs and it really wasn't fair to the hearing impaired. One of the professors, who was born and raised in South Africa, says he's hurt by what happened.
It was highly offensive. It is though someone speaking German and then have somebody go to them and make up words and pretend that they're speaking German. Of course, it would insult the people who lived in Germany, because it is as though they are insulting their language. And that's how I felt. He insulted my language, my home language, and that's how we as South Africans feel.
Well, South Africa's minister in the presidency says the administration is looking into the incident, but right now officials are focused on their former leader. The state funeral for Nelson Mandela is this Sunday.